Hello, viewers. I'm Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal. Now, brings an important video relating to a very basic concept of political science, that is rights. In political science subject, there are a chain of basic concepts. Among these, right is one. And today's topic mainly focuses about the rights, and mainly it focuses two aspects of rights. One is the meaning of rights and types of rights. In this video, we will discuss what is a right and what are the types of rights. And this video will be very much useful for students of all levels, those who are interested to be clear about the basic terms of the basic meaning of the term right. So, what is a right? Before we discuss what is a right, we must know a few lines about the importance of rights. Just as a tree is known from fruits it maintains, or a person is known from his qualities, in the same manner, a country is known from rights it maintains. If a country sanctions more rights, definitely it must be a democratic country. And if a country denies rights to its citizens, it is not a democratic country. So, rights determine a country. What type of country is, it is being determined by rights. Due to this reason, Harold Lasky has told in his book Grammar of Politics, a state is known by rights it maintains. A state is known by rights it maintains. A state is known from rights. And again, about rights, Lasky has told, rights are those conditions without which a person can be best. Rights are those conditions without which a person can be his best. So, rights are very much essential for people. So, what is a right? In simple language, rights mean opportunities or privileges given by the state to citizens. So, in simple language, rights mean opportunities which are given by a state to citizens for their development. But appropriately, rights mean it has some features. We have discussed here as many as 7 features of rights. Number 1, rights is a privilege under the protection of force of state. Rights are sanctioned by state. Number 2, it is recognized by society. Rights are something which are recognized by society. That these are very much useful for people. Number 1, rights are backed by the force of state. State protects rights. Number 2, it is recognized by society. Number 3, it promotes development of human personality. Rights are necessary for the development of human personality. Without rights, people cannot develop. Number 4, it is not absolute. Restriction can be imposed on it for social interest and interest of people. Rights are not absolute. People will not be given absolute rights. On rights, restriction can be imposed in the interest of society and the interest of all. And number 5, it is definite and universal. Rights are clear cut. And it is universal, it means it is not given to a section or some sections, it is given to all. And number 6, it is dynamic and not static. Rights are changing. As time is changing, rights are changing. And finally, it is necessary for decent life. In order to lead a good life, in order to lead a better life, rights are necessary. So here we have discussed that what is a right. In simple language, rights mean some opportunities given by state to people for the development. But actually, rights mean rights are given by state to the people. It is protected by state. Rights are necessary for the development of people. Rights are not absolute. A restriction can be imposed on rights. Rights are necessary for people to lead a decent life. It is recognized by society. It is necessary for the human development. So rights are given by the state to people for the development, and it is absolutely necessary. So we are clear about the meaning of rights. What it is right in plain language and what is right in appropriate version. Now we'll discuss what are the categories of rights. Rights are mainly two categories. One is the moral rights, other one is the legal rights. So what are moral rights? Moral rights are based on morality. It is not backed by a state. If these rights will be violated, state will not come forward to protect it. Number 3, its violation will not lead to punishment. If moral rights will be violated, punishments cannot be given. So moral rights means those rights which are based on morality or ethics. Number 2, it is not protected by the state. It is optional in nature, and its violation will not lead to punishment. For example, respect to youngers, respect to elders. It is a moral right. If you will not give respect to elders, no punishment will be given to you. Love to youngers. If you will not give love to youngers, if you will not love to youngers, no punishment will be given. Then help to incapable persons. You may help or may not help. So moral rights means it is not protected by the state, its violation will not lead to punishment, and moral rights are based on ethical principles. Finally, just opposite of the moral right is the legal right. Just opposite of the moral right is the legal rights. Legal rights means it is given by the state, its violation will lead to punishment, and finally it is moved by law. So legal rights means there are some rights which are given by state to citizens for their development. Number 2, if these rights will be violated, state will come forward to protect. And legal rights are protected by the state because they are very much essential. So here till now we are clear about the meaning of rights in simple language, meanings of rights in appropriate version. Then we are clear different categories of the rights. Now we'll see again, legal rights are of 3 types. One is the civil rights, number 2 political rights, and number 3 economic rights. Now we'll discuss what are the civil rights. Civil rights mean there are some rights which are necessary for the people in order to lead a good life. in order to lead a good life or in order to lead the life of a human beings, there are some rights are necessary. These are terms as civil rights. For example, right to life. Right to life means everyone has the right, everyone has the power to protect his life. If life of any person will be in problem, a person can seek the help of state and state will come forward. So, right to life means every person will protect his life. Every person can protect his life. If in course of that any problem will come, a person can take the help of state and state will come forward. And number two, right to personal liberty. In order to develop, in order to prosper, a person requires some personal freedoms. For example, right to speech, right to expression, right to move. These are personal liberty. Right to thought, right to worship. If these rights will be in problem, a person can shout the help of state and state will come forward. Then right to property. Every person can work to earn some property. Because if a person will not be given chance to work and to earn property, he will not have any interest. So right to property means every person can work by aiding his labor and earn something. Every person has the right to earn property, to dispose property, to utilize property on the basis of his wish. If any problem will come, state will come forward to help. Number 4, right to expression. Every person can express his feelings, can express his inner views. It is another civil right. Without it, the life will not have any charm. And number 5, right to religion. Every person can adopt any religion. Nobody will be forced to accept a religion. Nobody will be forced to change the religion. And number 6, F, right against torture. No person can be tortured. No person will be exploited. If any person will be exploited, he can complain in the state and state will come forward. And finally, right to marriage and divorce. Every person has the power to choose his life partner. Every person has the power to give divorce to his life partner. So, civil rights mean there are some rights which are very much essential for the people in order to lead a civilized life. Now we come to second part of right, second category of right, which is the political right. Political rights mean by this right, a person can participate in the political activities. A person can participate in the affairs of state. And these rights are given to only citizens, not aliens or foreigners. For example, right to vote. Every person can give his vote to choose the representative. Now, right to contest in election. Every person can contest in the election if you have necessary qualification. Number 3, right to hold public office. If every person has the right to hold a government post if you have necessary qualification. And these rights are given to only citizens. Number 4, right to protect, right to protection. Every person has the right to get protection of state if he is in any foreign country. If in any foreign country there will be a citizen of any country, he has the right to get protection of his state. Right to criticize the government. Every person has the right to criticize the government if government will be in the wrong tracks. Right to residence. Every person can reside in any part of the country because he is a citizen of the country. Finally, right to appeal. If there will be if a person wants to express his dissatisfaction against the government, he can appeal to the government. He can appeal to the government. He can request the government for his problem. So right to appeal means if any person will be in problem, he can appeal to the government, he can request the government to help. Finally, economic rights. Economic rights means every person must be given some rights to make his economic conditions better. Because for the development of personality of a person, his economic conditions must be better one. So every person will be given chance to make his economic conditions better. And in the economic category of rights will include right to fulfill basic needs. Every person requires food, cloth and shelter for his survival. So a person will have right to collect the basic things of life. So every right to fulfill basic needs means every person must be given right to collect his basic things of life. Otherwise he cannot survive. For this he can work, for this he can make business, for this he can make trade. Number 2, right to work. Every person has the right to work. Every person can work anywhere to earn his basic things of life. So every person is free to work anywhere and he is free to carry on any type of work. Number 3, right to get leisure. Every person has the capacity to work. He cannot be engaged more than a limited working hours. So a person has the right to get leisure. Right to retirement, right to retirement benefits. Every person has the right to get his retirement benefits. If a person has worked for a longer period, he is entitled for gratuity, provident fund and all type of retiring benefits. So if these rights will be violated, a citizen can appeal to the state and state will come forward to help. Now 5, right to maternity benefits. If any pregnant woman is working in any place, she can claim for maternity reliefs. Means even if she will not work, she will get his full salary. It is also a right. If he will not get full salary, he can appeal to the government and government will come forward to help. Right to participate in management. Every person has the right to participate in the management. Every person will be given chance to participate in the management. By this, he will be involved in management. He can take some steps for the benefit of the workers. So, by this, workers will be benefited. So, right to take part in management. Finally, right to adequate wages. If a person will work, he must be given adequate wages. Otherwise, he will be in problem. So, in this video, we have discussed what is the meaning of right, and we are clear that in simple language, rights mean some facilities given by state to citizens, and state also protect. But actually, rights mean rights are given by state to citizens. State also protects. Rights are not absolute. Restriction can be imposed. Rights are clear cut. Rights are absolute necessary for the development of people. And we have also discussed that it is necessary for the decent standard of living. And we have discussed that rights must be universal. It must be given to all. And it cannot be absolute. So we are clear about the meaning of rights in simple language and appropriate language. And we have discussed categories of rights. We have categorized rights first of all into two categories: moral rights and legal rights. We have discussed moral rights means there are some rights which are based on morality. If these rights will be violated, state will not come forward to protect. On the other hand, legal rights are those rights which are given by the state and state also protects. Again, we have discussed that legal rights are three categories: civil rights, political rights, economic rights. We have discussed civil rights means there are certain rights which are necessary for people in order to live like a human beings. And we have discussed right to life, right to personal liberty, right to property, right to expression, right to religion, right against torture, right to marriage and divorce. We have included, these are all the civil rights. And we have discussed meaning of political rights. By political rights means a person can participate in the process of administration. By this, a person will feel that the country is his own. And in political rights category, we have included right to vote, right to contest election, right to hold public office, right to protection, right to criticize government, right to residence, right to appeal. Finally, we have discussed economic rights. Economic rights means a person in order to develop must try to make him strong economically. A person will have to make him economically strong, and for this a person will have to perform some work. We have included right to fulfill basic needs, right to work, right to get leisure, right to get retirement benefits, right to maternity benefits, right to participate in management, right to adequate wages. So this video gives a clear picture about the meaning and different categories of rights. I request my viewers to make best use of this video to have your better academic life. Not to watch this video only for the namesake. You must watch this video carefully and attentively so the benefits will be of yours. Thank you, my viewers. I request you again to subscribe my channel and give your views through my channel so that I will be happy. Thank you. Goodbye. Again, we will be here with another video. Till now, goodbye to all.